Before we start the show, let's hear from one of our sponsors. Their support keeps this show free for you.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to leave up holiday decorations year-round. Others have the need to use their garage as practice space for their new metal band. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
Hi, I'm Michelle, a mother of 2 teens. 13 years ago, I traded in punishments and rewards for connection. Now I prioritize relationship over behaviors, utilize play as a parenting tool, and set limits with empathy instead of consequences. Each week, I share my journey and interview clients, experts, and followers. Thanks for joining me on the Peace and Parenting podcast. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to the Peace and Parenting podcast. I'm so glad you're here, and we're back for another episode. And today we're going to talk about this idea of co-regulation. What is co-regulation? Why is it important? And how do we garner it in our children? Co-regulation is this idea that our kids glean and obtain their self-regulation from us. So there's a lot of talk about how do I teach my child to calm down, and how do I get them to regulate their feelings, and how do I get them to process things? The best way in which we can help our children with big feelings is through our own self-regulation. So again, it comes back to us. Can we model what self-regulation looks like? So for instance, if your child is melting down about the red truck that they can't have, and you're thinking in your head, it's just a red truck. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is that it likely isn't about the red truck. The red truck could be the surface issue. There could be a bunch of other issues that are going on deeper for our child. Like they didn't get the lunch they wanted, and their brother got the front seat and they didn't, and they had a fight with a friend at school, none of which they really had big meltdowns about. They just kind of rolled with, but they got stuck. They got stuck in their psyche. And then they get home, and the last thing that happens to them is they didn't get the truck they wanted. And that is it. They are going to have the meltdown, and they're going to try to process all these other deeper hurts. They want to get them all out. And so they use this disappointment to do so. And we as the parents look at it as if, well, he just gets upset because he doesn't get his own way. And when he doesn't get his own way, then he gets really mad. And we want to blame the child for having the upset. Instead of taking a deeper look at it and kind of zooming out and telling ourselves in our head, this child's having a hard time. Whether I think it's valid or not is not important. The most important thing in this moment is for me to stay calm. Because if I stay calm and I regulate my feelings, now I'm showing my child what it looks like to regulate feelings. Now they have a model of self-regulation. If I become upset, or if I try to fix, or if I try to talk them out of their feelings, now I have told them they don't have a right to their feelings, the feelings are not valid, and they should do away with those feelings because those feelings are bothering me. And maybe, just maybe, they could internalize this idea that big feelings are wrong and that they shouldn't have them. Or could they go the other way and say, I'm going to have every big feeling I possibly can, and I will keep doing that until somebody will listen to me. So when we think about teaching our children to calm down and to self-regulate, and a lot of parents and people in society will teach children this idea of deep breathing and counting to 3 and of calming down and of to really get our child to stop emoting. And I'm not a huge proponent of that. And there's another episode called Mindfulness Jars, the case against mindfulness jars and timeout and cool down corners that you can listen to. But in my thought, that aspect of having a child calm down could also cause them to stuff their feelings. And that I'd rather be the safe container and the safe place for the feelings and allow the child to decide when they're going to calm down. And it's not convenient. It's not convenient for us. It doesn't look good. It looks messy. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's in moments where the last thing we want to do is sit with a child and have their big, hard feelings. But if we can, and if we have the space and we have the bandwidth and we have the time, it would behoove us to be with our child in those feelings, to say to the kid, I'm sorry you didn't get the truck you wanted. I know it's really disappointing. And just be with them. Be calm. Really, you can be quiet and be present and bear witness. I say that a lot in Instagram, bear witness, meaning watch your child have their feelings and don't take those feelings on. You don't have to take them on. They are not a reflection of you. They're not a reflection of that your child's doing something wrong. They're merely processing their feelings. They're allowing it all to come out so they can feel better. And if you can do this process with them, if you can co-regulate, you are creating connection because you're going to bat with your kid. You're going to war with them emotionally. You're sitting through ickiness. You are staying there. You're not leaving. And you are really committed to see this out with them. And that means something to somebody. Time for a short break to acknowledge our sponsors. Because of them, you're able to enjoy this podcast without paying a dime.
Owning a boat comes with a number of perks, like being able to say, ahoy, or land ho, and not feel weird about it. So here's another perk. Geico's boat insurance offers access to the largest towing fleet on the water. And with specialist support from agents that are as passionate about boating as you are, there's so much value that you'll want to say, shiver me timbers, and not feel weird about that either. Get more with Geico.
Are you sick of the sibling fighting? Are you tired of asking your child to do the same thing over and over and over again, only to end up using threats and bribes to try to get them to cooperate? Well, it doesn't have to be like that. You can learn the ideas of connection through our Connected Parent Mastermind group coaching program. We meet 3 days a week. Myself and my 2 coaches hold meetings. We also give you access to all of my online materials, meaning 10 modules of instruction, PDFs, podcasts, and my book. You get to join our school community and interact with coaches and myself and so many parents who are doing this work just alongside you. So if you're feeling stuck or if you want to accelerate your connected parenting practice even further, join the Connected Parent Mastermind. Click the link in the show notes for more information. Thanks for supporting our sponsors. Now back to the show. Just think about it. When you're really upset and you're crying and someone sits with you and listens and says, I'm so sorry you had such a bad day. It must have been horrible. I'm right here. And they don't try to change the subject and they don't tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't be upset and they don't talk you out of your feelings. That feels good. That's connective. That's sharing a bond with somebody. So tantrums might feel like they're disconnecting and everyone's dysregulated and they're really hard. We can take a different look at them. We can say, wow, this is a really connective experience. If I can regulate, if I can stay calm and if I can stay self-regulated, if I can do those things, then I can change this experience of big, hard feelings into something that's connective, into something that's meaningful. But that's the hard part of it. Like, how do you stay calm? And why can't you stay calm? And the reason we can't stay calm oftentimes is because nobody stayed calm with us before in our childhood. No one was there for us when we had our big feelings. People told us to go to our room and calm down. Don't cry. Don't be upset. It's not that big a deal. You're being a baby. All kinds of things we were told as kids that tell us that what's going on now presently is not okay. And so if we were a child in this paradigm where we were told it's not okay, and now we're witnessing a child having this same experience, it might conjure up and trigger this idea that it's not okay and that we have to make them calm down and we have to shut it down. As opposed to leaning into it and saying, it's okay. I'm going to co-regulate with this child. My regulation, my self-regulation is going to inform theirs. So if I sit with them 255 times, every time they have a tantrum or a meltdown or big feelings or disappointment or any of it, if I stay with them, eventually, when their prefrontal cortex is totally mature, when they turn 25, 28, then maybe they will start to also be able to regulate during hard moments. But they need to watch us a lot in order to be able to take that skill and use it for their own. Plus, their brain has to be completely developed. I'll tell you now that my kids who are older, Pia will be 14 next month and Esme will be 17 in January, they both self-regulate so much better now because I've self-regulated with them. I have regulated with them a lot. Now, there are moments where I've still messed up, where I've had to walk away, where I've said, I can't deal with this, where I've done the wrong thing, even in this last year. But for the most part, for 70% of the time, I do it right. It wasn't always like that. I was doing it right about 30% of the time when I first started. Now I've kind of grown and I do it right about 70% of the time. So that's something. As long as you're doing it and you continue to practice it and you continue to make it your way to be with your kids, that's all you can do. And that's enough to help them learn to regulate. But if we try to calm them down and try to tell them to stop having their feelings and try to give them techniques to stay calm as opposed to just allowing the feelings to come out, we might be sending them the wrong message. We want to send them the message that you can regulate, but I'm not going to make you regulate. I'm going to watch you get through your process while I regulate. So I'm modeling it to you so that you can glean some of these skills as you're watching me. I'm calm. I'm listening. I'm saying very few things. I'm right here. I understand this is really hard. I'm not going to leave you while you're upset. I'm going to be with you in your hard feelings. Then we're quiet. 80% of it is just being quiet and being regulated and being calm. If you feel like you can't, walk away. Don't make it their fault though. Don't say, oh, well, I got to go because your feelings are too much for me. You just say, I got to go to the bathroom. I've got to go pee. I'll be right back. I got to send an email. Whatever it is, whatever excuse you can give, walk away, gather yourself, look in the mirror, splash water on your face, talk to yourself, give yourself a mantra to say. It's not an emergency. They're just feelings. Nobody's dying. Everyone's going to live through this. And then try to go back out there in the trenches and listen to the rest of the feelings. You will see if you do this, if you co-regulate, you self-regulate all the way through their feelings, even if it's an hour, even if it's an hour and 20 minutes, yikes, even if it's however long it is, and you get to the other side, you will see a new child. You will see a happier, kinder, nicer, lighter child who has let it all out, who has unpacked their emotional backpack, and who feels better and is able to do better. Okay. That's all I have on co-regulation. If you really want to dive a little bit deeper, I do have an online course called Understanding Big Emotions. It's $38. I think it's worth every penny. It's a video. I help you learn how to do exactly what I was just talking about. Plus, I give you the ideas of connection. Plus, we dive into our childhood a little bit. And it's a great little course. I'll link it in the notes. You can also find it in my IG bio. Okay, thank you for joining me on the Peace and Parenting podcast. I'm so glad you are here. Thank you so much for your reviews and for being part of this incredible community. I'm so thrilled every day that this gets to be my life, that I just get to talk about parenting all day long. So thank you very much, and I'll see you somewhere in the online world.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to leave up holiday decorations year-round. Others have the need to use their garage as practice space for their new metal band. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.